Tate Show. Tate Show. Ow!
Just for your note, Dave Chappelle.
Hey everybody, it's Chris Tate. Welcome back to the Tate Show, and today my special guest is Zach Foster. Alright, and today what we're going to be talking about is a little different from the last episode, which was the album review. Today we're going to be talking about relationships. Search for
the win.
For the 90s kids. Okay, so as far as relationships, we're just going to keep going with this, and if it's too long, we'll break it up into segments, but we're mainly going to keep it going. Okay, so let's just start off. As far as relationships, do you think it's a good thing, bad thing? Could it be a good thing?
My view on that, basically, when you're younger, everybody, you see all these couples in high school, these younger people, even all the way down into middle school.
Right.
Relationships, I mean, I think it's a good thing and a bad thing when you're younger. The reason why I think it's a bad thing, obviously, is because, chances of a relationship, actually working out, like, I mean, you gotta think, you get in a relationship with somebody when you're in, like, 7th or 8th grade, you really think you're going to end up with them, you know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, it's a possibility, but very unlikely.
It can make little Jimmy happy, but necessarily, it could also be a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So there, I think it's, it's a bad thing. I mean, people are going to get hurt, and, a lot of times you get younger couples, they usually end up hating each other, but at the same time, it's a good thing because you're going to learn stuff that you'll need to learn. You're going to learn stuff that you'll probably need later in life. So that when the right person does come around, you already have all the experience and whatever that you need.
Right.
So.
And as far as like young couples, do you really think they know what love is?
I definitely don't think they do. I'm sure we've all been there.
Yeah, I sure have. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, that word is definitely thrown around a lot. A lot of people, I think, definitely don't know exactly what it means. Even older people, I still think, don't know what it means.
Right. I even think a lot of people our age, we get in a relationship, they're dating, and they think what they have is love, but in all reality, it's just lust. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah.
Because they think, okay, so, I'm with this person, they were my first, this was great, and you're with them, and even though you guys will fight and argue, maybe it's not a good relationship and you should break up, you'll stay together thinking it's love, but in all reality, in my opinion, it's more lust.
Yeah, I mean, and you're going to have those cases where it's not, maybe you do fall in love, maybe you do know what it is, but yeah, I think 9 times out of 10, you're definitely right. It's definitely more of a lust thing. I think, especially with younger people, it's always that feeling of, wanting somebody, not necessarily that you love them, but you want somebody there, you're with someone, it makes you happy. So that's, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, one thing I want to say before we continue, this will be my official setup for the Tate Show from here on out. I plan on getting a desk right now, so you can see we just got this little thing. I feel like I'm going to put up some posters here, get some nicer chairs, have a real nice setup. So this is just what we got for now and working with it. Okay, so me and Zach have debated on this before, and sometimes I agree, sometimes I disagree, and I want to know what you guys want to know. Leave a comment below what you think. Do you think guys can have girls that are just friends? No relationship, just a guy and a girl that are just friends, best friends, hanging out.
Yeah, actually, we were talking about it last time. Was it Steve Harvey? There was a video Steve Harvey did, and he was basically saying, this girl was saying that she had this guy friend, he was just a friend, and he was really friendly. He let her move in and live rent free, and he was being super nice, and she basically just was wanting to know what he thought of it,
Right.
And to me, a situation like that, I think most people would think, okay, he's trying something, but yeah.
So it's not necessarily that he could say he's her friend, but in reality, this is the way Steve Harvey put it, and you guys can see your opinion. some people say, yes, I have this girlfriend, I have this girlfriend. Some girls say, I have tons of guy friends. And no, not necessarily they're gay, but they're just regular guys and they're my friend. But the way Steve Harvey put it, which you can check it out, look him up, he pretty much stated that, like, if you are a girl, like, say I'm friends with a girl, the only reason, in Steve Harvey's opinion, that I am her friend is because she's made it, a point to say, hey, no, we're nothing but friends. Mm-hmm. And, some people think, well, guys will say, okay, we'll be your friend, and maybe it takes months or years or whatever, but we're always right there waiting on the outside, waiting for our one chance for you to break up with that boyfriend or, be down in the dumps or having a bad time. And then that's the time where the guy slides right in.
He comes in to play superhero and save the day.
Right. So that's why some people think, okay, they can't have friends because every guy, and if you think about it, if you're a guy, think and sit down and think, what girl friends do I have that are just friends? Think about all their names and think, do I like any of them? Mm-hmm. Would I sleep with any of them? If they ask me out right now, would I say yes? There's always that line, with that too. There's always that line, and sometimes it gets crossed. You take it a step further, and it's like, whoa, let's back up a little. The way I look at it, I think it's possible, to have friends that are girls. I don't really see, where it's a big deal. It's not like every girl I talk to I'm going to want to, have a relationship with or that I like, So, yeah, I think it's possible. I just don't think you see a lot of it. I think a lot of girls get the idea. Hard. Yeah, I think a lot of girls get the idea that when a guy wants to talk to them, that's what they're there for. They only want one thing. They only want to, put, whatever. Right, which is not true. Sometimes, ladies, we just want to hang out. We just want to, honestly, chill. I can't tell you. It's not necessarily want to have sex all the time. Yeah. Just, and there's girls that I've never talked to in my life that, I'll basically just say, hey, what's up? Tell them that I think they're pretty, and I don't really mean anything by it. I just, looking for somebody to talk to. I love meeting new people. Right. I don't have a lot of friends that are girls. Me, you, Shane, Talon. There's a lot of guys, but we don't really have a lot of friends that are girls. Right. So, in my opinion, I'm gonna say I think you can have a friend that is a girl, but in my own experience, it's never happened because every girl that I have been friends with, I do like them, or we have ended up dated, or we dated in the past, or, something like that, or a girl, maybe she has a boyfriend right now, but if they break up, Yeah, like I said, though, I think it's more on the side of, girls get the wrong idea when, like I said, if you're a female and you're going through Twitter or Instagram, somebody, hits you with a message and they're just like, hey, I think you're pretty, or hey, just what's up, and you have no clue who this guy is, you're gonna automatically assume that they want you for that one thing. Yeah, exactly. Right. Which sucks. It really does. And now another really big thing that I want to talk about today is why good girls, and sometimes they're not good girls, but sometimes they are, go for the bad guys. You know what I mean? Yeah. And this is a big thing. We've all seen it. I mean, you can even go back to the old movies and you see the nice, sweet, caring guy. He can't get the girl that he wants, and the girl that he wants is dating the jock who's cheating on her and hitting her, but she keeps going for him and won't go for the good guy. So, it's a known thing. It's cliche. It happens all the time. It happened to my grandparents, my parents. It's happened in our time. It's going to happen to our kids. And why do you think that is? Well, actually, I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut right to the chase here. Hey, this is the Tate Show. This is what we do here. I definitely think, and I'm not trying to offend any girls out there, I definitely think a lot of girls will do this because of, mainly because of looks. You'll see this guy, you really think he's really attractive, whatever. So you start talking to them, and I think a lot of times I've seen that you're kind of distracted to a point. You're distracted by the fact that they're attractive, or there's something you like about them, and it has to do more with looks and that kind of thing. And you don't really get to see what kind of person they are because of that, because you're distracted. And like I said, it's not like that with every situation, but I've definitely seen that a lot with relationships and with girls who like guys. And 6 months down the road, or however long you end up dating, you realize, they're an asshole, they, whatever they do, find out they're cheating on you, that kind of thing. And, 9 times out of 10, it's like, you really want them to change,
but it's just not happening. You can't change somebody like that. I've seen it too many times.
Well, see, in my personal opinion, I think it's like you said, with the looks thing. But also, I think it's more popularity. Like, if you're a girl in high school, and you got two guys, Josh and George, and Josh, he's cool, he's playing on the football team. Maybe he doesn't even play sports, but he's popular, he knows all the people, he's very talkative and stuff, so you're more interested in him. But now when he's dating you, he's hitting you with those red no replies. He's going to parties and hanging out with girls. He's cheating on you. He's hitting on you. And all these things. And, I know girls want a bad guy, but, bad boy, but sometimes that doesn't work. And then they'll post on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, I just want someone who cares. Okay, so now go back to our Josh and George, the George kid over here. No, he's not popular. No, not a lot of people know him. But if he was with you, he wouldn't cheat. He'd be loyal. Yeah. He'd care.
It's always a far cry.
But he's never going to get that girl.
It's always a far cry. They're like, I just want a nice guy. But there's always that nice guy who's always there. He's there the whole time.
Friend zone.
The friend zone, definitely a big thing. I'm friends with some girls, a couple of them that I know. Basically, I've talked to when they're fighting with whoever they're with, and they just say, I just don't understand why you can't, why can't you just?
We wish we could just say because you're fucking
and
an asshole.
It doesn't matter how many times. Doesn't matter how many times you tell them. That they're not going to change them. That you really need to see who this person is. Doesn't matter how many times you say it. They're going to keep going back to it, and before they move on to the next one. And like I said, you get caught up in that friend zone, and there's not really a whole lot you can do. You just kind of have to be there.
Like Steve Harvey said, you're just waiting around.
Yep.
Well, see, and another thing is we're not going to sit here and say that we are the perfect guys. And ladies,
no.
Stop talking to those guys and come date me and Zach. That's not what we're saying here. What we're saying is, you guys know it. You've seen it. You can go to your high school right now. You can talk to your parents. That always happens. I'm not even saying I'm the best guy or the guy that a girl should choose. But what I'm saying is, ladies, just take a look. I know he's popular and he's, he got the nice car, he got the money, he got the abs, he got the whatever he has that you are physically attracted to. And then do this for me. Look at his exes. Okay?
There you go.
And when you look at his ex-girlfriend and say, okay, why did him and this girl break up? Oh, she cheated on her. He cheated on her. Okay. Now let's look at this other girl. Oh, he was hitting on her. Okay. This other girl. Oh, he slept with these other girls. Now, look at that and then say, do I want to put myself in this position?
Yeah. And it's not like, I'm not going to say, go through their messages or whatever, because honestly I think that's wrong. I see all these couples that are like, oh, well, I made my boyfriend delete all the girls out of his phone, or I made my girlfriend delete all the guys out of her phone. And that, I'm just going to tell you straight up, that's definitely a trust issue.
Jealousy is never the answer.
Yeah, and some people are like that because they've been hurt before. But I don't know. Basically, I think if you can be with somebody and you can say you trust them, and it might be difficult for some people. Like I said, there's people out there that have been hurt by people, and they have trust issues because of it.
Right.
And all they want to do is make sure that they're not going to get hurt again. But that's just too much. I haven't had it happen to me, but definitely seen it happen.
Yeah, so. And me, my grandma used to tell me this when I was younger. Well, not too young, but recently. I don't think I've ever been in love with a girl. I love my mom. I love my grandma. I love my aunt. That far as female was. But as far as a girl, I've never, sorry just killing. But I've never been in, love. But my grandma told me, as far as trust, I know some girls are, well, what's your password to everything and this and that. And I understand, make sure he's not. But you should, really, in my opinion, to have a good, serious relationship, there needs to be trust. My grandma always said, you should be, she said, I should be able to come home and see my grandpa laying naked in the bed beside another girl and know 100% in my heart he didn't do anything with her. Of course, that's a weird situation.
Yeah,
why would he be there anyway?
That's just the farthest extent, though.
But to know and truly in your heart, I know 100% he wouldn't do that. That's the real trust. That's, where the real love's coming. Now, I've never been in love, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm an expert at it, but I'm just telling you the things that I've seen.
Yeah, like I said, that word definitely gets thrown around a lot. You see these people getting into relationships, and it's like a week later, they're, all over Instagram, all over Facebook saying, I love you, love you so much, this and that, happy 2 weeks, happy 3 weeks, and, some people just have to learn, I guess. I know I've definitely been there, but it wasn't that severe. It wasn't, 2 weeks.
Right.
Maybe like a little more than like a month or so. Even a month. I mean, you really got to think. You know, you tell somebody that, and the word has so much meaning, but people just don't understand it. You know what I mean? It's just they just throw it out there, and
Right.
you know, how long are you going to be with somebody before you make that realization? You know, that you care enough to say that. You know, and like I said, some people are going to know what it is. Some people have been in love before, and they
know if it's real or
they
not.
get into a new relationship, and you know they know it, but there's definitely those people out there, especially younger people, kids.
Well, also, like, when we were younger, I think if you go back to us in 6th grade, 5th grade,
yeah,
you get into a little relationship, cute relationship, you ask her out on that day, you're, I love you, and that and that. But I think now as I get older, if I was to, today, right now, a girl come up to me, we're dating, I'm not going to hit her with the love word. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to say it unless I mean it, unless I feel it. And it could take 6 months, a year, 2 years. It could not be it. It could happen. But it's something you just don't say, you know, right away.
Yeah, another thing I want to throw out there, I'll actually talk about a personal experience I had back, you know, God, this was like, I want to say 7th, maybe 8th grade. I had a girl tell me that she loved me, and, you know, I don't even remember how long we were together. But, you know, number one, you don't want to say it back just because they say it. I've seen that happen a lot. You know, people, they say I love you, and it's like you're putting them in that tough situation where, you know, you feel obligated to say it back. But, you know, that's another thing. You don't want to just say it, you know, one, if you don't know what it means, or two, if you don't mean it. And like I said, I've had an experience like that. I had a girl say that to me, and I basically told her, I was like, you know, I'm not really sure what that is. You know, it's not like, you know, I don't care about you. It's not like I don't like you.
Right.
It's just
definitely.
We haven't been together long enough, and, you know, I'm not trying to be mean, but I don't care enough, you know, to say that. You know, it's like, you know, it would be different if that's how I felt. So, like I said, especially with it only being like a month into a relationship, or not even a month, you know, people say that, and
yeah.
So,
and I think as far as to relationships going, whether it's in a high school or your age or younger or whatever, I want to get your guys' opinion on this. Once again, leave it in the comment, and we're going to talk about it. Do you honestly think that long-distance relationships can work?
I'm going to say they can. You know, I think it honestly just depends. I think, basically, if you were in a relationship with somebody, if you think of it this way, think about somebody who, you know, is married and in the military. Okay, if you've been with somebody for, you know, 5, 6 years, if you're married and you've been together so long, and then, you know, that person is suddenly gone for, you know, months at a time, you know, it's like you, I think if you really love that person, I think if you're really in love with them, I think you can definitely make it work. And, you know, it's not easy, obviously, because you might go from seeing that person every day to, you know, it being like a month before you even get a phone call, and, you know, I'm not sure how that works, but you know what I'm saying.
And then,
so
also, I think with that, you got to use common sense. For me personally, I've tried long distance relationships. You guys know, I've lived in Chillicothe, Florida, McConnellsville, Lancaster, Grove City, Columbus, Athens. I've lived everywhere. I'm here in Parkersburg, Belpre, everywhere. But and I've tried it a couple of times. And for me personally, it hasn't worked. I've tried it. Some of them actually lasted a couple months and then ended up ending. But I think you just need to be smart about it. If you're a girl and you're dating a guy and he's been the type to, you know, be an asshole, or he's not even treating you good when you're there with him or going to high school with him, then when you guys do go off to college, or he does go off to the military or something like that, then come on now. If he's going to do it there, what's he going to do while he's away when there's girls and stuff?
Yeah, and what I was saying about that is, it's like, if you have been with that person for so long and then suddenly you're not around them anymore, yeah, I think it could work. But, you know, you see these people who get into a relationship with someone, they might meet him at like a party, and, you know, they might not even be anywhere close to where they live, or even just like meeting online, that kind of thing. You know, you message them every day, and you've never seen them in person, and then, you know, you're together for however many months. I don't really see how you could really consider that a real relationship. I'm sure there's people out there that have done it, but that's not something I would want to get into, I guess. You know, I would definitely want to meet them in person, first of all. You know, I think meeting people online not always a bad thing, but you definitely got to be careful with that. And like I said, if you're, talking to this person, you just met them on a chat somewhere, and it's like, hey, you want to date me? It's like I just don't see how that would work. Now, if you're going to see this person and they live, 2 hours away, and you might see them once or twice a week, that's a little bit different.
But yeah, but as far as like them living in Texas or something,
yeah,
you guys messaging each other,
and you never seen each other in person. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
you definitely need to have that in-person connection. I'm saying, like, of course, if you were with someone from the in-person and start, and then became a long-distance thing, it could work. But I don't think a long-distance thing could start.
Yeah.
So, anyways, guys, today that was just a short little episode. We have plenty more we could talk relationships. We could go all day, 10 more hours if we needed to. We might break this up into segments. Once again, please like, share, subscribe. Check out my past 2 videos. This Sunday there will be a new video with a new guest. And, my secret project that I said in my last episode, if you guys want to know what it's about, just message me. I'll let you guys know. I'm going to put me and Zach's Instagram, Twitter, and the description below. You can follow both of us. Check both of us out, and we'll see you next Sunday. You got anything to add to that?
I think we're good.
All right. See you guys next Sunday.